What if I told you that the high-end pieces I'm about to make today started as plain little finds from the Dollar Tree? I'm talking a designer canister set, a $133 Pottery Barn bead garland, a reversible candle holder, and an entryway tray that looks like it came straight off a boutique shelf. All of it for pennies on a dollar. Hi, friends. Welcome back to DIYs with Sonja, the cozy little corner of the internet where we turn dollar store finds into the high end decor of our dreams. Today, I've got four brand new Dollar Tree to Pottery Barn dupes for you, and trust me, if I can make these, you absolutely can too. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and before we dive in, do me a quick favor and tap that subscribe button and the little bell so you never miss a new DIY. And while you're at it, drop a comment, let me know which of these four projects is your favorite. I read every single one. All right, let's get right into it. We are starting today with these glass jars that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I grabbed three different sizes so we'd have a pretty little set when we're done. The inspiration for these came from McGee Co. and their stoneware canisters. I wanted mine to have that gorgeous stone look, but instead of going smooth and polished like the original, I decided to make mine a little more rough and organic, and I love how that turned out. To go with the jars, I pulled out some wooden round knobs that I thrifted a while back. It's just an assorted little bundle of round knobs, so I picked out three different sizes to measure three different jar sizes. For paint, I'm reaching for Silk All-in-One paint in three colors: Truffle, Highlands, and Sandbar. These shades are so soft and neutral, they'll honestly work in any kitchen or bathroom, no matter how you like to style your space. Now, here's the best part about using glass jars for this because we're only painting the outside, the inside stays completely glass. That means these stay food safe, the paint never touches anything you put inside, so go ahead and fill them with your coffee, flour, sugar, whatever you'd like. To get that beautiful stone texture, I'm adding a little drywall compound and mixing it right into the paint. Let me walk you through painting one of these. I won't paint all of them on camera, but the process is exactly the same for each. Now, learn from my little hiccup here. I originally started painting the whole jar, but I quickly realized that if I painted the top section where the lid screws on, the lid won't go back on. So you'll see me go ahead and wipe the part clean and then paint all the way up to the point where the jar curves in. This took two coats of the textured mixture to get nice solid coverage, and the second coat was just a partial one to even things out. Now for the lids. Before any painting goes on, I glue the knobs on the lids first, and I'm using a two-step glue method. I start with a little hot glue. You won't actually see me do this part because my cord wouldn't reach the table since I'm working outside. And then I added some Gorilla Glue on top. The hot glue holds everything in place while the Gorilla Glue cures so your knob stays put and stays strong. Once the knob is secure, I painted the lid the very same way, and I'll switch to a smaller brush here to really get into all the crevices around the knob. Here I'm adding a second coat. This one is in Highlands, the gorgeous soft green gray shade. One little tip, if any of the texture chunks bother you, you can take a small sanding block afterward and just smooth things right out. Personally, they didn't bother me one bit, so I left mine as is. And here is how all three look together. I think they turned out absolutely beautiful, and I genuinely cannot wait to start using them in my kitchen. For my next project, the inspiration is the mango wood beads from Pottery Barn. I actually saw them in person on recent visit and they were absolutely beautiful, but that 133 sale price was just a tad too high for me. So I thought this shouldn't be too hard to make myself. For this one, you'll need some rope, and I'm also using a little wooden piece that is actually a cutout circle that's left over from drilling a hole in a piece of wood. If you don't have one of these, a large cork works perfectly too. I did grab a cork to use, but mine just wasn't quite big enough for what I had in mind. Now let's talk rope. I really wanted a thinner rope, but I couldn't find one in this color. So I separated the strands of this one myself, and I'll be honest, that was a bit of a tedious job. But the strands came in handy later, so hang on to them. For the beads, I wasn't able to find any at the Dollar Tree, and I'm sure they carry some, but I couldn't track them down that day. So I picked these up on Amazon instead. I'll have a link down below because the price was great for how many you got, and they were a really nice size for this project. To string them, I'm using the solid unseparated rope and I thread the beads one by one. You can make yours as long or as short as you'd like. This is totally up to you. I tied the very first bead on loosely just so the rest don't slide off. And then I added all the others. Now, here's where a little rookie mistake happened. For some reason, my camera turned off while I was painting the large wooden cutout piece. So let me talk you through it. I painted that piece in an oyster color, and which is an off-white. And then while it was still wet, I added a few lines of black paint and blended them right in so it looks just like the marble stone piece on the Pottery Barn original. To finish, I took those thin separated strands of rope from earlier and tied them onto the end to create a little tassel. If you'd like a full tutorial on how to make a tassel, let me know down in the comments. I actually made a smaller version of this years ago, so I'll try to link the older video below for you as well. This one turned out so pretty. I love the soft colorings and it's going to look gorgeous draped on a coffee table or tucked in a bowl. This next project is super simple, I promise. I picked up the little candle holder at the Dollar Tree, and the inspiration once again came from Pottery Barn. They have these beautiful reversible candle holders that work as pillar holders on one side and taper holder on the other. The detail I really wanted to capture is that gorgeous aged gold patina they have. And getting that look is so easy. I'm using the gilding wax from Dixie Belle in Antique Gold. I'm covering the whole piece and yes, even the bottom. And here is why. The tapered candles from the store fit perfectly into that little hole on the bottom. So just like the Pottery Barn version, mine becomes a reversible too. So here's the pillar side for a chunky candle, and then you simply flip it over and pop in a taper. I'm actually making two of these so I can show you a beautiful side by side. And once they're styled up with candles, I think they look absolutely gorgeous. And for $1.50. And for our last project, we are making over this wooden tray. Now, I happen to thrift mine, but I'm positive the Dollar Tree carries similar trays, so you can absolutely do this with one of theirs. To start, I'm using gator hide, but if you don't have it, plain Mod Podge works just as well. I just have gator hide on hand, so I'm brushing a coat of it right on the surface of the tray. Then I'm laying down this beautiful rice paper from Dixie Belle. This style is so popular right now, and you can even find tissue papers that would work just as well for this project. And you'll see this popular style. You'll see it everywhere, from little vintage shops all the way up to high-end stores. And I'll link everything I'm using down below if you'd like to recreate any of these projects. Now, full transparency, I had every intention of painting this tray before adding the rice paper, but halfway through I realized I forgot to paint it. So here it is without the base coat. And honestly, I think it still turned out great, though I do think it would look just a touch better with a coat of white paint underneath first. So keep that in mind for yours. Once the rice paper is on, brush another coat of gator hide over the top to lock everything in place, and as a bonus, it gives the whole thing a soft, pretty shine. For the final step, I took that same gilding wax from the candle holder project and added it to the handle areas on the outside of the tray, and then the same on the inside. And then I took it one step further. Using just my finger, I rubbed a little of the gold of wax along the entire edge of the tray. I'm telling you, this one little detail made it look so much more high end. And here's how it looks all finished. I think it's going to style beautifully on an entryway table.
I recall the gentle rain and the fading of the season, the way you stayed, though you couldn't remain. I remember golden haze.
And there you have it, friends. 4 brand new Dollar Tree to Pottery Barn dupes, all looking high-end without the high-end price tag. I would love to know which project was your favorite, so scroll down and tell me in the comments. And if you recreated any of these, please come back and let me know how it went, because nothing makes me happier than seeing what you create. If you enjoyed today's DIYs, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe if you're new here, and ring the bell so you're the first to know when my next video drops. All of the products I used today are linked down in the description box for you. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. Now go make something beautiful, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting.